Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Hydro, and today I am really excited because this morning I got this in the mail. It's the Joyetech 510 starter kit. So I bought it from myfreedomsmokes.com, and before I get into the actual 510, I gotta say that their shipping was amazing. I ordered this Friday morning, a little before noon, I think. And I got it, today's Monday, I got it Monday, well, it might have been in the afternoon, so like, let's say about 12:15, right around there. So, the shipping was lightning fast. I'm in California, and it shipped from North Carolina. So, that's pretty amazing. So, just wanted to get that kind of out of the way first. It was, I believe, $39.95 plus tax and shipping from the website, so it came out to about $45. So, you know, so far so good. So far, myfreedomsmokes.com has been really awesome. So, big thank you to them. So, I toyed around with the idea of doing an unboxing video, but ultimately I think that unboxing video is really stupid. So I didn't do it. Basically, what you get in this is you get your instructions. This is where the 2 batteries and 2 atomizers go. Pop this up, take this out, and it comes with 5 different cartridges and your wall charger / USB. So, you know, pretty standard starter kit, really. For 40 bucks is a really good deal. Truth be told, I was going to actually buy it off E-Cig's website. Their deal, I thought was maybe a little bit better because their starter kit is actually, it's the same thing, but you get 10 extra cartridges of different sizes. So there's a flat tip and a slim tip, and you get 5 each of those along with it. It's about $5 more. So, but for whatever reason, it wasn't letting me go into the shop, so I went with My Freedom Smokes. Totally okay that I did. I feel definitely good about this purchase. So basically, this is it. So it's an automatic battery. So you have your button right here. It's a 3-part system. So you have your battery, you have your atomizer right here, and then you have your cartridge with the filler inside. So you just pop that right in, fill it, pop it right into here. Fits in there really snug, so there's no worry about it coming out. Whereas I feel like with the E-roll, it's in there kind of loose. So I haven't had one fall out on me yet, but it just feels like maybe it will. You know, I've kind of become a fan of Joyetech. Every one of their products that I've owned so far has worked really well, and none of them have gone out on me or anything like that. And I feel like the performance has been solid all the time. So I was really excited to get this because the reviews were so good. I saw Smokin' Joey's review that he did on YouTube, and you know, he liked it a lot, and I thought this looks really interesting. I'd say just right out of the gate, my only real disappointment was that it seems really small. When I opened it up, I expected it to be a lot bigger, and I don't know if just the people reviewing it have smaller hands than I do or what, but it always looked big when people had it, so I expected it to be a little bit bigger. I know there is a longer one than this, but everyone was pretty much reviewing a starter kit, which is what this is. So, but I do have to say that it performs really well. So, so let's go ahead and I have 2 different ones right here filled up with different e-juices so you can get an idea. This one right here is a pure VG blend, and it's a Red Bull flavor. So not too bad. I've actually been using this for a while. It's such a thick e-liquid that I don't go through it as fast as some of the thinner e-liquids. So, so let's check out the vapor. Yeah, so the vapor is pretty good. One thing that you may have noticed is that there's no cutoff, which is amazing. I'm not a fan of cutoffs. I know they're there for a reason. I know it's a safety feature, but sometimes, especially with something like this, with the VG juice I'm finding, I'm not getting much of a throat hit. The flavor is okay, but you know, really it's the vapor That's what does it for me with the VG blend. I do feel like the flavor is really coming through on this, whereas it didn't with as much with my Blug, or with the Halo cartridges that I would fill up with it, or even some of the tanks that I used with that juice. Now this is a pure PG blend, and it's filled with a Halo Malibu, I believe. So, you know, one of my favorite blends. So you're going to notice that the vapor isn't going to be as much, but the flavor really comes out. So. Yeah, so not quite as much vapor, although it seems like it's producing quite a bit. But really, I'm getting that throat hit on it, and I'm getting the flavors really coming through. And really, that doesn't, I don't think, have as much to do with the device. A lot of it's the juice. Of course, the device is making all that happen, but the juice that you use is going to be really important. So if you use a PG blend, you're going to get a better throat hit, and you're going to get a you know, you get better flavor, whereas with a VG blend, you're going to get a lot more vapor, but the flavor and the throat hit aren't really going to be there as much. So I've recently actually ordered some e-juices that are a 50-50 blend of each. So that ought to be interesting to see if it's producing really good vapor and you're getting really good throat hit and flavor. If that's the case, I would say the 50-50 blends are really the way to go, and you know, that would be perfect. But I actually ordered some Boba's Bounty and Gorilla Juice from Alien Vapor, and they're both really highly rated, so we'll see how those go. But all in all, I think that that these are really good quality. I really like it. I mean, you know, they look really nice. Everything fits together really well. It's really light, actually. Compared to some of the other batteries that I have. If you don't like the manual button, you know, maybe this isn't for you necessarily. I did see that on myfreedomsmokes.com, one of the options when you're going through to order your kit is automatic. So I kind of wonder about that. I may go back to the site and see if I can just order an automatic battery just to see, because that sounds really interesting, and that might, you know, that might be really cool too. But I do like the manual, and that you can hold it down for a couple of seconds, warm everything up, and then, you know, then vape it. Now the cartridges here are really small. They're probably about the size of a e-roll, in that they probably hold about the same amount of e-liquid, which is going to be like 0.4 mils, not very much at all. So, much like with the E-roll, what I see myself doing with this is filling up, you know, having one filled and then filling two more, taking those with me when I'm out all day. Now, this is the only E-Cig that I've been using all day, and I haven't had a charger, although I've been switching back and forth, so I haven't really got a good feel of how long the battery is. I know that a lot of other reviews said the battery life was horrible. I'm not necessarily finding it to be horrible. I think that if you're constantly using it all day, you're probably going to need to be charging it, and you might need to buy a PCC, which you can get. You can find them online for these specifically. They don't really look that cool, but they'll do the job. For me and the amount that I vape, especially when I'm at work and I'm only vaping on breaks, I think that one would probably be okay, but I may just go ahead and charge both of them and take them both with me, just in case. But I don't see myself going through 2 batteries in one day on the amount that I vape. I find myself vaping less, or doing less actual vaping, than I would when I was smoking. When I was smoking, I'd go through maybe a pack a day. Vaping, I find that I'm taking a few puffs and putting it down for a little while. Taking a few puffs, putting it down for a little while, versus a cigarette, I would smoke the entire thing, and that's between 10 and 12 drags, depending on you know, how hard you're hitting it. So I find that I vape a lot less than I did when I smoked. So, you know, that's a consideration. Somebody who vapes a lot, you know, may need both of these charged and may go through 2 a day. That's entirely possible. Although if you're going through 2 batteries a day, you're probably going to fill up all 5 cartridges that it came with, taking them all with you, and that could be kind of a hassle. So, you know, for somebody who really vapes a lot, you're probably better off going with a mod or a tank system or something like that, where you can hold a lot of juice, and that battery's going to last you probably well into the next day. I think this is more something for somebody who just sort of wants a small E-Cig that they can use whenever they want. I know that Smoke and Joy, who did a really good review, I really enjoyed it, I've probably seen it maybe 4 or 5 times now, was saying that he recommended this as a complement to the E-Cig that you already have. I don't really agree with that. I think that this works just great by itself, and I was driving and using this at the same time. Not hard at all. You know, I mean, you don't need 2 hands to use this thing. You know, you need 1. This thing is so light, the button is so obvious. You can, no matter what, you can pick it up from anywhere, find that button. It's not hard. So I think that this is totally worthy of being someone's main prime vaping tool, if they wanted something small like this. You know, I really, honestly, after getting this, I can say that I really don't see myself ever using my Halo G6, my Blue, any of those things anymore, because I think that this thing works better than those do. But, you know, there's a place for all of them. I mean, realistically, I could hang on to my Blue, just keep it in my car and just use it like that, use this when I get home or something, but really, I'm getting better flavor out of this, I'm getting better vapor production out of this, you know, and really, I mean, I think the atomizer is really good on here. So what do I really need any of the other ones for, to be honest? You know, I mean, if anything, I would probably just put more money into these and just buy a couple more atomizers, maybe a couple more batteries, just because these will go out eventually, and really just keep using these. I mean, I can't say that this is the best thing on the market because I haven't tried everything. But out of what I have tried, I'd say this is better than all of them. You know, and the starter kit price is really competitive with all of those companies. So to me, it's like, why not get this? You know, it's like if you're looking for something that's more of like a cigarette style. Yeah, it doesn't look like a cigarette, really. I mean, it doesn't feel like a cigarette, but it looks nice. The build quality is really good. It's a good price. You could fill it with your own e-juice right out of the gate. Obviously, you can do that with all the other ones if you get some blank cardos, but you know, for what it is, I mean, it works really, really, really well, I think. And, you know, in my opinion, I don't need to use any of the other ones. This might be the last E-Cig that I buy. Unless for some reason I get a V2 at a really good price or something, because I'm curious to see how that and the Eversmoke are. But I don't know how they could be better than this, since I'm getting the experience that I want out of this. You know, how much better could it possibly be? But maybe I'll find out one day. We'll see. At this point, I think that maybe the next thing I buy is going to be like a mechanical mod or a box mod or something like that, so I can really get the full potential out of the tanks that I've purchased. Because I don't feel like I'm getting that off of the Ego Twist or any of the other Ego style batteries that I have. You know, I want to really reach that full potential. So anyway, we'll take one last vape off of this, and then I'm going to show you something else that I was really surprised about. Okay, so something else that I had picked up last week that really surprised me about how well it works is this guy right here. I don't know if you can see that logo. It's the Mistic E-Cig, and you can get these at Walmart and Rite Aid, places like that. I actually picked mine up at Rite Aid. It's a little on the heavy side. It's got a long battery, and the battery life is actually really good. I took this out one weekend. I was using it constantly. $14.99 for the starter pack, and this is the menthol one. So it just comes in a box, exactly like a cigarette box. You open it up, you have, this is where your USB charger would go, your battery would go, and it comes with two, two cartomizers right there. And it only comes in a few different strengths. I got the 1.8% or 18. That's the highest that they go. They only have two flavors, menthol and a classic tobacco, or like traditional tobacco flavor. I actually think it tastes pretty good. And these things vape really, really, really well. For somebody who doesn't want to spend 40 bucks on a starter kit, they want a really low buy-in, I would definitely recommend this. $15 for what I just showed you. Now, extra cartridges, cartomizers, those are going to cost $15 also for a 5-pack. That's where it gets a little pricey. But I do find that they tend to last for a long time. Not refillable though. That's a big downside, is that you can't refill them. Once they're done, you just have to throw them away because there's no way to refill them after that. So, but you know, we'll take a few hits off of this, and you can kind of see how it vapes. So vapor production is awesome. I bought one of these right out of the box. I just took out the battery, screwed on a one of the cartomizers, and this thing was just performing really, really well. One interesting thing about this is that the air holes are actually, there's 4 of them around where the plastic meets the metal right here, the battery. So it's actually pulling air through the battery and then through here, instead of most of the other ones have them where the filter, or the, sorry, it looks like a filter, the cartomizer meets the battery. There's air holes right there, so it's only pulling this much. I know that there's one other brand that does it, and I think it's either the E-Cig or the Eversmoke. One of those two, I think. Actually does that too, has that technology. So first thing I noticed was that there were no air holes around here, and I was like, that's really weird. I wonder if this is working. And this thing runs super silent. You can barely hear it, which I thought was really cool too. So the technology in here, well worth the money right there. So, but let's take another hit off this. Yeah, just tremendous vapor coming off of this thing. Like I said, it runs really, really quiet, and the flavor's not too bad. I'm not big on the tobacco e-liquids necessarily. I haven't really tried that many because I didn't think it was going to be something that I would like, because I'm trying to get away from the tobacco flavor. But this one actually isn't that bad. So I would say that the Joyetech 510 would be something for somebody who wants to experience other types of e-liquids. You know, wants something that they can sort of experiment with and all that. But this, I think, is perfect for people who really are trying to get off of cigarettes and want something that looks like a cigarette and tastes like a cigarette. The menthol one's really good too. It doesn't really necessarily remind me of like a menthol cigarette, like a menthol tobacco, but it's a really good flavor though. So I would say, you know, this one, like I said, I bought it at Rite Aid. Would be really good for anybody who still wants a tobacco flavor, who just wants something cheap that they can, you know, when they're out of cartomizers, they can just go run down to a store and buy, and not have to worry about ordering online and waiting X amount of days until it gets there. I think this would be a great thing to have. I actually kept this in my car for about a week and just, you know, used it while I was driving, and it was really, really good. I mean, it was producing so much vapor at one point that I actually had to crack the window because, like, it wasn't just, you know, it wasn't going away super quick because it was so thick. You know, so I don't know what kind of technology are in their cartomizers, but I think everybody else needs to jump on it because these are working fantastic. So we'll take one more of these, one more hit off of this, and then we'll say goodnight. Yeah, still really good. And like I said, I've been using this one for a few days right here. Been using this battery for a week, so, and only had to charge it a few times. So anyway, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, let me know. The 510 is still kind of new to me, so I'm still kind of getting used to it, but I really like it so far. So I don't, yeah, I'm not an expert on it yet. So, but anyway, if you have any questions or comments, just let me know, and you have a good night.